We are going to get another check of your forecast right now. If you spent any time outside this weekend, you probably have the sniffles this morning.
That is because we are seeing near high levels of tree pollen. Chris joins us again. Pollen season already in full swing. Can't believe it, Chris.
I know it is flourishing, and the winds don't help anything because we are in the windy season technically, that we're having those gusts getting up to 20 to 30 miles per hour more and more frequently. Temperature actually has nothing to do with it, but it is 42 degrees right now up in the mountains, and then 54 degrees is what we have right around the Charlotte area. Now, one thing that really does help out is the rain, and the rain will be rolling in trying to wash away some of that pollen count. But I want to show you where we've been over the last 30 days. Now, this dates back to about February 9th, where we've been dancing in that low to medium threshold. Well, it's really been over the last 2 weeks. It's been more of a medium high to a high. The only day that wasn't inside that range was the day that we had decent rain and even some storms. Now, our tree pollen season typically will be from March to June, but sometimes it could start as early as February, and that's exactly what we've seen. And I hate to say it, friends, that the peak intensity is usually in April. So if it's bad now, it's actually only going to get worse. And the big five that we have: river birch, American beech, hickory, oak, and yellow poplar. And now this is an overwhelming list, but it really puts in perspective. Get out your reading glasses, because a list of all these other trees, and I'll post this over on my X and Facebook page. These are all the trees, according to some of our local offices, that we usually have to look out for. Now, when you have rain that rolls in, that's always going to be a helpful thing. It washes the pollen count away, but then the winds usually behind the front will pick it right back up. And also, tree pollen is so fine that it's able to carry much further distances, say, than all the other ones, such as grass and ragweed. Our futurecast showing that we are anticipating rain realistically for the afternoon. However, it's going to struggle to try to overcome some of that drier air. But if you're watching from Chester, Lancaster, and Chesterfield County, I'm singling you out because you're going to see by far the most rain. I think it's these counties that could have a range anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain, up to about 5/100 to 1/10 of an inch right along the I-85 corridor, and that would also include down towards the south along US 74 through Monroe and Wadesboro. This is definitely more of a South Carolina event, and the main reason why the access of this storm right around this low is just off the South Carolina coast. This is also a scenario if we were much cooler. That would have been a big-time snowmaker, so we can thank our lucky stars that we're definitely on the warmer side. Highs today, the 50s. This is the one day that doesn't match the rest of the highs. All the rest are pretty much in the 70s, close to 80, before we drop down into the 60s in the back end of the forecast. But the 60s will be prevalent here in Statesville and Hickory because they're anticipating a lot less rain than the rest of the area. Our lows going forward, though, this is by far the coolest, but check it out. The 18th is also a Tuesday, so the two coolest mornings that we have are both on Tuesdays over the coming days. I was at one of the big box stores. I will not name it, but it does rhyme with Lowe's. Oh, yeah, I said the name. But I was at Lowe's yesterday, and I noticed that there are a lot of beautiful, beautiful plants. Don't buy into it. Why? Because if you put those out now, it's not a very good odd. Now, if you look at our extended forecast, we're not calling for a freezing temperature, but there'll still be frost potential. Really, this date to March 15th, there's an 80 to 85% chance that we'll have a freeze or a frost going forward. Typically, it's better after tax day. I think once we get a little bit closer to the end of March, that's the time that you want to maybe plant some of those trees that you might be tempted to buy now. Tomorrow, we have temperatures in the lower to the mid 70s, sunshine all day long. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And my pick of the week, Wednesday. And it was an easy choice because we're looking at sunshine. It's 80 degrees. It's the warmest by far. Now, after that, we're going to be dry for the rest of the week, but I think you need the umbrella again, maybe on Saturday heading into Sunday. So a look at our severe weather risks. I know there's a lot here on the screen, but we have a 15 to 30% chance on Friday and Saturday for a severe weather breakout. Now, nothing is showing for the Charlotte area per se for Sunday, but this is the same type of scenario that we saw before when we did have severe storms the previous Wednesday. That was an overnight event that eventually turns into a morning event. We could see that on Sunday. So Sunday is the one day that we have a chance for thunderstorms, and not a weather alert day yet, but we are keeping an eye on it. As for that Charlotte FC game on Saturday, slight chance for rain, but otherwise looking more cloudy and breezy at this point.